everybody, Dragon here with another Dragon Rates kind of video thingy. I don't know really how people felt about the last one, but I'm gonna do a few of these and see how it goes just once a week, and yeah, if it's not going well, then I will switch it up and try to find some energy for some gaming or other kind of vlog thingies, so we'll see how it goes. But as you guys can tell, today's title is Dragon Raid's biggest online dating fails. I either think these will be hilarious to read, or they will be like, oh heck no. So let's just get into it and see how it goes. So yeah, let's see. So again, I always get all these articles from like the internet, of course. So this one again is from georgetakai.com. And this one was one I found recently, so I'm really excited to just lend you my voice and read out some of these. And I don't know, I've got an online dating story that maybe I'll share too. We'll see. So let's get into it. This is the first one here. So I've been dating this girl online, and we met at a bar around 6 p.m. I noticed that she was pacing much faster than me. I had around 4 beers in the time it took her to drink 7 martinis, which were $15 a glass. Ooh boy. She says that she needs to use the restroom, took her jacket and purse. After an hour of sitting at the bar alone waiting, I realized that I got used for a heavy pre-game of drinking. Ouch. That is one expensive tab. And one really horrible thing to have happen. That's great. Yikes. Alright, the story's called The Cues. Dun dun dun. So, there it is. Not realizing how much can be lost in the absence of voice, inflection, and physical social cues. Okay, so this is a story about like not being able to see or read like the body language of someone. Okay. This is what so many people can't seem to grasp when I explain to them I don't do online dating. If they've never experienced what it's like to have this happen, they can just understand it no matter. They just can't understand it and how much. What? Sorry, that sentence is worded strange. Let me try again. If they've never experienced what it's like to have this happen, they just can't understand it no matter how much I try to explain it. And to me, it's a huge part of my attraction, or lack of, to a person. It's not like I don't date or have issues getting dates. I just don't do online. I still meet people in real life. I just don't like online and feel my real life connections tend to work out better for me. Okay, that's fair. Very fair. Okay. I still cringe. Oh, here we go. Oh man, the first time I contacted someone, it was via the Onion personals, which were really a thing in 2005. Oh man, I just made fun of a band she said she liked. I wrote something like, my only problem is that you are into said band. She replied, as she should have, my only problem is that the only thing you offer is a criticism. I still cringe. Oy. Poof. Gone. Oh, we all know these stories. Getting ghosted is not a fun thing. So, getting hundreds of matches on Tinder but not going on a single date with someone I initially met from the app. I am a male. I've set up many dates but get ghosted the day of every time. Oh, that's awful. See, when I go on a dating app, I usually get to get chatting with people for like a few days. The longest conversation I ever had with someone was like a week or two, but then they stop replying, or like the conversation just, ends, and then like you try to reconnect with them going like, hey, it's been a little while, how you doing? And like the person's deleted the app, or like they're just gone. So that's one problem with dating online, I think, is that people are like, you know what, I'm either too busy, or like I just didn't vibe with this person, so I'm just gonna leave without saying anything. So that sucks. Alright. Yeah, next story. But good lord, was I a naive fool. Yikes. I don't like the sound of that, but let's see. This is actually quite a long story, so enjoy. I matched with someone on a dating website like long before Tinder. Got to talking, seemed like a chill dude, even though there were red flags. He insisted we were dating before we met, and I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone. Okay. Agreed to meet up with him at a cafe by work. Organized with my receptionist, she would ring me at an allotted time and tell me I had to come back to work, so I had an out, just in case things didn't work out. Met with the guy for coffee. It seemed well enough, then my girl rang me, so I told him I had to get back. His response was, "I've got my work van here. Do you want to jump in the back and have a quickie?" I noped out of there and went back to work. A couple months later, he ended up coming into my work to see my boss. I made polite small talk with him when he left my boss. I made polite small talk with him. Then, when he left, my boss called me into her office to ask how I knew him. Turned out he was married to my boss's niece, and I dodged a bullet. Oh, guys. Yikes. Update. Sorry to leave you all hanging. Boss believed me, and we never spoke of it again. I was too embarrassed to raise the subject again because I keep my private life private, and her because I assumed she kept that crap between her and her niece. My boss is also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so not the person to mess with. Yes, I should have known better when he got possessive straight out the gate, but I was young, insecure, and lonely. It's not a crime to want to be wanted, but good lord was I a naive fool. Oh. Dang, that's really unfortunate. Looks like that would mess me up quite a bit if that happened to me. Oh, okay, the story is, Googled. So yeah, like Googled. I dated a guy who was in a poli-sci PhD program, so political science doctorate program, and it was confirmed. And he had a law degree, which was also confirmed, but had left practice because he didn't enjoy it. That's what he said. That's what he told me. But nope. He had been arrested for a federal hate crime as a neo-Nazi and was ineligible to practice. Thank God for Google. Oh my god, that is a big dodge. Like, that is something, thank God, like, get away. I think that's something when you come to dating, is that you've got to figure out your political stance, your ideologies, your outlook on life, and be like, hey, just to let you know, I'm pretty liberal, or I believe in these things, what do you believe in? And having those conversations and being honest about them, because you don't want to be in that position where you have to Google what happened to your date. Okay, next story, sounds off. When I connected Spotify, my Bumble profile, and beknownst to me, 3 of my top 10 artists were the Wiggles, High Five, and Blippi. Pretty sure I missed a few connections because of that. Oh my god. I can't imagine, like, just scrolling through and like looking at top artists on Spotify and seeing someone that has like the Wiggles or like kids tunes, and I'd be like, my first judgment would be like, what? But then my second judgment, like, maybe they've got a little brother that listens to it, but at the same time, I'd be like, okay. Okay. Next story. What's your password? Ooh. Ugh, don't ask that question on the date, guys. Don't do that. Not trying it sooner. At the end of the day, we're all just people looking to connect and share a Netflix account. Same. Spent 9 years trying to find a girl going to parties in the club. Turns out I'm fairly crap at that, which probably wasn't all that good for my self-esteem either. A female friend then thought it would be fun to create a Tinder profile and swipe for me during a party. Spend the next few days being mind-blown at getting matches, sucking at texting, progressively getting better at it. A few months later, going on a ton of dates, getting better at that as well, and finally, finding my current girlfriend of soon 2 years. Developed more at flirting and understanding dating in those 6 months than from birth up until that point. That's kind of a happy story. Huh. That's really cute, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm a pretty awful, texter, like bad at like everything. So when it comes to like being social, I used to not be. I used to be like really social butterfly, going out, having fun, and like actually being quite engaging. But over the years, it's just gone. That skill is gone, so I need to kind of get back out there. Oh, maybe I don't want to get back out there if my next story is called Rotten Fish. Oh boy. So, using Plenty of Fish, the free dating site. It was like the Netto of dating sites. I chatted briefly with one woman before telling her I was going out for a few drinks. Next day, I checked my messages and she had sent me some. It started with, "Why didn't you come around to mine and get drunk together?" Progressing to, "Why are you ignoring me?" And then to, "I think you're gorgeous and we will be good together." And finally, "Don't you ignore me." I sent her a message the next day to never contact me again. Yeah, someone's like clingy. I think that was a mistake I made a few years ago with one of my friends that kind of got into a fight, but we resolved it. I was like, "Dude, come on, respond. Why are you not responding? Like, dude, I know you're not. I know you're free. Come on, and like, those kinds of things. I used to do that. I kind of don't do that anymore. I try to stay away from it. But yeah, I would not like that happening to me, and I think that's why I kind of stopped that behavior. Okay. Okay, the next story was Match to Browse. I used the free version of Match to Browse, then decided to sign up. Quickly realized it didn't have anything to offer me, so I canceled and got a refund. I then had 20 different emails about different women interested in me. Way too coincidental. Damn. That's like, I guess like being discouraged on like a matching or dating website, and then all of a sudden having that happen to be like, I'm glad I left that dating site. 3 days in. I once told a guy via text I had to go because my lunch break was over. When my shift ended, there were tons of angry messages from him asking where I was and why I left so suddenly. I told him it was because my break was over and I can't text when I am at work. He then started apologizing to me and told me he was afraid he had lost me and that I had hated him. We had known each other for like 3 days and we had never met in real life. Oh yeah, yikes. Yikes. Oh, the story kind of sounds sad a little bit. She was way hotter than me. I met with this very attractive woman off upper middle school class Tinder Bumble. She was way hotter than me. At some point during the evening, she leans forward on her bar stool, narrows her eyes, and goes, "I know there was some reason I swiped right on you," because at that point she could not remember. Oh. That is really sad, actually. Just be like, hey, like going on this date, being like, hell yeah, we're out here, and then like being completely scrutinized and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I like you? That's a little creepy. Okay, this is a story titled Crap Happens, Mate. I mean, true, but what happened? So I met with a girl at a bar in Philadelphia on a Friday night around 6 p.m. It was fun and we drank a lot, but I noticed that she was pacing much faster than me. Oh, this is the like 4 beers and like that story. But there's a continuation to it, so he basically got used for a heavy pregame. The bartender kinda realized it. When I asked for the tab, he shrugged and was like, "Crap happens, mate. I took 2 drinks off your tab." Oh, the bartender's so sweet. I took 2 drinks on your tab. It probably would have been like 2 of those martinis, because 7 martinis are $15 a glass. Damn. Oof. Aw, the story's me. This story is titled Since I'm a Weirdo, and guys, I'm a weirdo, so let's see if it's the good kind of weirdo or the bad kind. You never know with these stories. Okay. I had about given up on dating in general after I broke up with another loser I had met on there. But I decided to revamp my profile a little and put exactly what I was looking for. Example, looks don't matter, but you have to have a job and not live on your mom's couch at 33 and have some goals regardless of how big or small they are, etc. I included that I am a professional with my own place, car, full-time job, and college degree. And though education isn't a deal breaker, I just want someone I can have a conversation with. It was pretty, straightforward. I included that I like fun stuff too because I'm not a very serious person. I was just tired of getting involved with losers. I went from getting several messages a day from guys to maybe a message a week. Since I'm a weirdo, I made a second profile. I had 0 pics of my face and only partial body pics. I had pics of me with boxes on my head, wearing weird mask, etc. I put how I only read the Necronomicon, and I have antlers, and I glow in the dark or some weird shit. I got a crap ton of messages to that profile. One of them ended up being my current partner of 6 years. Lol. Once I sent him an actual pic of me, he said he recognized me from my other profile. I asked later why he didn't message me on that one, and he said I seemed scary or something. Now I know that asking for a guy with goals is scarier than potentially being an antler necromancer. I like that story actually quite a bit. That's hilarious. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I'll just instead of doing a nice little bio about me and then putting some song lyrics on, I should just be weird. I should do that. Okay, mix it up. So, putting all my eggs in one basket. Once I start a conversation with one person, I just stick with that person until I know it's not going to go anywhere. I can't deal with trying to remember stuff about 2+ people at the same time. I don't mind though if the person I'm talking to is talking to more than one person, as long as if we're on a date, they're not on the phone to them or mix us up. Guess that's fair, hey? Another quick little one is so vain. Agreeing to meet someone with a topless profile pic. My god, he was vain. Yeah, there's one thing about being confidence, or having confidence in yourself and posting those kinds of pictures, but then meeting them and being wow, you are all about you. Not a good time. From the bots. Oh boy. Time for the bot story, I guess, already. I matched a girl who looked really cool and complimented her hair. She responded with something along the lines of, "I'm so glad you messaged me. Most of these guys just match and never message." I've seen almost exactly the same line before from bots, so I assumed she was a bot and said something snarky about it. She replied, upset, and then unmatched me. Oh no! Mistaking someone for a bot is so mean. Alright, we're down to our last few stories. So this one's called Be Wittier. Not being exciting or witty enough in the text game. In real life, my expressions and demeanor save me, not so much online. I know people like that, hey, that they message it exactly the same way no matter how they're feeling, and you're like, okay, but I just told you really upsetting news. Can you use punctuation or something like that to emphasize how you feel? And the person's like, nah. It's okay. But I'm the opposite. I'm so smooth over text, but super awkward in person. My texting personality and in-person self are basically 2 different personas, which is probably off-putting. I get that side too, where I can be super engaging online and I can have a conversation and I can be really into it. But then as soon as I meet the person face to face, I'm super quiet and I never know what to talk about. And it's damn, how come it's easier online than in person, But there's so many things to do with that. There's insecurities, are they gonna like me if I do the same thing in person, and all those things. So I tend to I freeze up when it comes to conversations way too often, and it's not good because I usually am the one that has to carry the conversation. So if I can't carry it, then I know that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so Freak On is the next one. So she was being flirty, but I just kept asking, "How's your day going? What are you up to?" and other generic questions until she stopped and never messaged me back. And then my friend decided to give me the advice like, yo, step your freak game up, son. I like that. I'm like, dude, come on. Don't be boring. Step your game on. Step up your game. Close encounters? That sounds like D&D. I mean, what? So I chatted with them. I chatted with them a year by phone, and once we met, we had nothing to talk about, and it was the most awkward encounter of my life. Yeah, that happens a little too often for me. Sometimes chemistry fails to translate to in real life. If it was a good fit, you would still have had topics of conversation. I guess that's true. Her what? What? Her husband, dot dot dot. You have no idea how many neglected wives are out there online, and they love to omit the fact that they have husbands. Watch out for the MILFs. She'll break your heart, and her husband will break your neck. Yikes, that is something. Yeah, I mean, some of these are like, oof, really cringy, but those are the stories of some online dating fails. For me, I was in a relationship online and long distance, and it was good, and I was like very open, and I would share a lot of things about me, and that person still knows like way too much about my life and a lot about me. But after a while, like, it just we didn't keep up. Like, we would be like almost like an old married couple where, you look at your grandparents and they like just sit there and say nothing to each other and like watch TV, and like they're perfectly happy doing that. That was us for a while, but then it got to the point where like he would be doing something and I'd be like forced to watch it, and I'd have to like respond, or like I'd have to watch it, and I would be like not really in the date but kind of there, and that's kind of where I was like, you know what, this is not like how this relationship should keep going. We need to communicate, talk, we need to both be doing things on a date, we need to like both connect, and we need to keep connecting, and I can't just sit here and watch you play games or I can't sit here and watch you do things. Like, that's not how that should work. So yeah, that was interesting. It was like playing games together all the time to like never playing games together, and then me watching him play games, and that would be like our date nights. Yeah. Not really much for chemistry there, but that's okay. It happens, but yeah. That was me reading some online dating fails. There's some pretty good truths out there. So you just gotta be careful who you talk to, how you talk to, pay attention to the chemistry, find out the truth, and make sure you are honest as well, because nothing is worse than lying to someone that you want to move forward with. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next week for another one.